Hey YouTube, this is Steve from Average Joe's Fantasy Football, and we are talking mock drafts for your 12-man leagues to help you guys out with your upcoming redraft season. I know it's only June, but right now you've got to start prepping and preparing for your redraft season. Soon, July, August will be here. Mini camps are going on, training camps, all kinds of fun stuff for the NFL. So this is going to help you guys kind of get an edge on your league mates to help you guys have a successful 2024 season. Now, of course, if you do any dynasty content or any dynasty games, best ball, things like that, of course, check out other videos we have going on and to help you guys out with that. And of course, if you're doing some rookie drafts still out there, make sure you check out some of my rookie rankings and drafts as well to help you guys out. But we're going to jump right into some mock drafts here. So as you can see, we are at the 102 spot here in a 12-man roster. Now, I don't have a huge roster here to go too deep into this, but I wanted to give you an idea of how this is going to play out. Now, I'm doing single quarterback. If you're doing a super flex, this whole draft is going to be completely different. And of course, hit me up in the comments. Let me know if you want to see certain mock drafts in a certain format to help you guys out with your upcoming season. I love to put different types out there, whether it be, of course, 10-man leagues are going to be coming out soon for you guys. If you guys are doing 8-man, maybe you're doing long drafts as far as like deep leagues, and of course, Superflex. Let me know in the comments. I would love to get you some mock drafts to help you guys out. Now, this is full PPR, so if you guys have checked out any of my other videos, it's always going to be on full PPR stance. If it's obviously standard, I don't normally do videos for that, but of course, you could always ask questions of players you should probably go after in the first, second, third round, and so on. If you guys already haven't, check out our 101, and I'll be going through 112 in this whole thing. Now, let's start this draft. Now, for me, Christian McCaffrey usually becomes the number one. Now, in this one, you see Tyreek Hill going there. Christian McCaffrey falls to the 102. In a normal case like this, Christian McCaffrey typically goes at the 101 spot. Now, if he doesn't, and he falls to 2, I'm going Christian McCaffrey at the 102. Plus, he just signed an extension. Like, the 49ers are absolutely in love with him. He's a fantastic fantasy player, great running back, one of the best offensive players in this league. If he falls to you at 102, that is an easy call. Do not make that mistake. Now, if he doesn't fall to the 102, I actually like taking CeeDee Lamb here or possibly Justin Jefferson. I like CeeDee Lamb a little bit more because he does have a lot less opportunities as far as competition. Brandon Cooks is good. Ferguson's good. But CeeDee Lamb gets force-fed quite a bit in that offense. So on the swing, you've got obviously a lot of the running backs start going here. You saw the first quarterback off the board in Josh Allen. Great play there. He's my number one quarterback in Dynasty and in Redraft. So I don't see that as a particular problem. I typically grab a quarterback in the later rounds that I think you still get a lot of value at because we are, again, talking one quarterback. So looking at this, I could grab Sam Laporta, who is fantastic. If it's tight end premium, that guy is gone in the first round. Stephon Diggs is here, Nico Collins, Travis Etienne. I've got my running back here in Christian McCaffrey. I could go and grab another running back to really fill that roster because, again, I have the swing here. So for me, grabbing Travis Etienne is a great option here to get 2 solid RB1s on this roster who have great value in a PPR format. And now I can start filling out my wide receiver aspect in this. So looking at the wide receiver spot, you've got Waddle, you've got Pittman, you've got Debo, DJ Moore, Nico Collins. I'm actually going to grab Nico Collins. I like Mike Evans as well. I think Mike Evans I could possibly squeak in the 4th round, but it's a little bit tougher at the 102 spot in this one. But I like Nico. I think he should have another successful season and continue to have that growth with CJ Stroud. Got that big contract. The Texans absolutely believe him. I know there's a lot of, okay, I get it. There's a lot of targets there, but I still think Nico is their wide receiver 1. So looking at this, you see some of the premier tight ends starting to go. Obviously, again, quarterbacks are heavy. If you don't grab a quarterback in the 3rd round, that is okay, but I could see where you start grabbing those quarterbacks here because, again, quarterbacks are a tough one to fill. So looking at what I've got available in this spot, you've got Devonta Smith, who is fantastic. You can grab Zay Flowers for the Ravens, who was great last season. Maybe if you need a running back, if you went a little bit of the wide receiver route, again, Mixon's a great option here. I'm actually going to grab Devonta Smith, who I think is fantastic for the Eagles. He has a great rapport with Jalen Hurts. He's been, again, a great wide receiver too, who could put up wide receiver 1 numbers almost weekly, depending on how this offense plays out. So I've got my 2 wide receivers here. I don't have my quarterback. I got my 2 running backs. I'm actually going to go and grab Kyle Pitts here and grab my tight end. So I've got my initial stars here. Kyle Pitts is in a position where I think he can end up being tight end 1 if this offense truly does become the offense that we hope it can. Now, in this offense, we're hoping that Kirk Cousins is healthy. There's a better offensive coordinator in this position. So again, a lot of faith and trust in this, but I still think Kyle Pitts is a great option here. Now I've got to start getting my quarterbacks filled out. So I'm going to go and grab Joe Burrow here, who falls to me. I like Dak Prescott as well. He's another good option. But if Joe Burrow can stay healthy, he can obviously be a top 5 potential in redraft, so I'm going to grab him there. So I love my starting lineup here. Now I've got a flex spot, kicker, defense, which we'll talk about later, and then of course, all your depth. Now it's best player in that position. Now I'm not going to grab 2 tight ends, even though Evan Ingram and George Kittle are great. I do like Jaden Reed. I like Rashee Rice. We'll see how this whole situation plays out for Kansas City. Hollywood Brown, again, all the 3 wide receivers for Kansas City are in a good spot. I'm actually going to go and grab Najee Harris. I know that might be a little bit of a reach, and I get it, but I like grabbing Najee here because I think Najee has the potential to still have really strong numbers. I mean, RB2 numbers, not RB1, but I still think he's going to have some value in this offense, even though I get it. Jalen Warren has done a great job for them, but this is a lot to prove for Najee. He didn't get that 5th-year option. It's a lot going on. So I'm going to grab Najee Harris there. So I love some of these options you see here. You got Jonathan Brooks for Carolina, right? If you needed another running back. You've got Brian Thomas for Jacksonville, who I think could end up emerging as a nice wide receiver 1 at the end. Keon Coleman, you got Trey Benson. So there's a lot of really good options. I'm going to take Keon Coleman here because he, I think, will be the wide receiver 1. In this Buffalo offense, it's going to be a huge, huge task for him to kind of fill those Diggs shoes, but I like Keon Coleman here. I think that's a really good play. And then I'm going to go grab another wide receiver and get Deontay Johnson for the Carolina Panthers. I know he's kind of forgotten about, but I want to grab a player who's going to be force-fed some targets because I think in this offense, it's only going to get better. Bryce Young is only going to get better. They've got a whole offseason to get prepared. Deontay Johnson is a safe play for Bryce Young, and I think he's going to get plenty of targets, 100 to 130 his way, and be a really good flex play all season long. So now I got to fill out the rest of this depth. I've got 4 pieces here, plus my kicker and defense. I'm going to grab Blake Corum because I think he's going to end up having to have a bigger role this upcoming season, where a lot of people, even including myself, did not think it was going to happen. But with the Kyren Williams situation and his foot injury, Corum could play a big factor, so I'm going to grab him in a nice little depth piece. I will eventually grab another tight end here. I'm going to see if I can grab a tight end later in the draft that I still think has some value. But I am going to grab Jaden Daniels because I think Jaden Daniels has the ability to have almost top 10 quarterback potential with his rushing ability for this offense. He's got great weapons in McLaurin. You know, he's got obviously an offense that I think could build around him. And I'm excited to see how this plays out. Now, he has not won the job yet, but we'll see how things go. The fact that they got rid of Sam Howell does put trust and faith in Jaden Daniels. So I'm going to take that as a nice little risk. Got 2 more players here. Looking at this roster, I can pair him up with Dotson. I can go another tight end like Cade Otton, who is a great option. Maybe Quentin Johnston, who I'd like. I'm actually going to go and grab Chuba Hubbard. I know Jonathan Brooks is there. I know Miles Sanders is there. I think Chuba Hubbard's probably going to be the RB2/RB1. We'll see how that plays out for Carolina. But again, it's a late pick. I don't feel horrible picking him there, but there's still potential. So for me, I think that's totally worth the grab there. I'm actually going to end up grabbing Quentin Johnston here. I know Johnston struggled last season, and a lot of people got burned by him, especially in Dynasty with your rookie drafts. But there's still some faith. I have faith in this option. I think Johnston could end up standing out, having a role in this offense, could end up being the wide receiver 1 for the Chargers, even though I don't expect them to throw a lot. But if they can get that going, man, that's going to be a great steal there. So now I got to fill out my kicker and defense. So I'm going to grab a defensive team here. I wanted to grab the Commanders, but I'm not crazy about that. I'm actually going to be grabbing the 49ers because I think 49ers defense is fantastic. And then I'm going to grab the kicker to finish everything off. Always grab a kicker that's going to be in a situation that's going to score some points. So I'm actually going to go and grab Fairbairn to the Houston Texans because, again, a lot of opportunities to score for that team and getting close to the red zone. So I like him as my option. So that is my 102 mock draft for redraft. If you guys do have questions of any draft picks, if you have questions for trades, if you're doing dynasty, and of course, if you guys have anything rookie related, hit me up in the comments down below. If you guys loved the way this draft went, again, hit that like button. If you guys didn't, let me know who you would have gotten in some of those rounds to give me some insight as well as what you guys are thinking in the community. If you guys haven't already, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, hit that like button, make sure you guys are following along all off season, of course, going into the season to have a successful year, and I'll check you guys out next time.